Jason from Fatbombs Australia, and today we're going to be making this low-carb donut baking mix. You get 12 donuts out of this. All right, so we're going to start off by emptying the packet. We're going to put it into a bowl, and we're going to then add the liquid ingredients. So I'll just open this one up. Okay, so basically just empty the packet into the bowl. Okay, probably a good idea, get the oven going at the moment to 160 degrees or 320 degrees Fahrenheit. And so we'll do that. Now, it does say to grease the donut tray with coconut oil, but we're going to be using these little guys here. So that way we can just pour it into there and we don't need to grease it. So I'll just do this one now, get that done. Okay, so we're going to add the water at the moment, which is 150 ml filtered water. Okay, next we're going to add 400 ml of coconut cream. Try and aim for the highest fat content you can with the coconut cream and the less kind of additives as possible. Okay, and the next thing you want to do is add 90 ml of coconut oil. Try and go for less refined, so cold pressed, organic if you can get it. So all that needs to be done now is just to mix all this together. Now this is where you kind of work out what flavour you want to do. So we're just going to do chocolate. So I've got 100% roasted cacao powder there. But you know, if you wanted to do different flavours, then you can add, say for example, turmeric with a bit of lemon and maybe some orange. So depending on what flavour you want. But for today, we're going to be doing just straight chocolate. So I'm going to add 50 grams. So if you look on the donut and topping ideas, option number 1, chocolate. So for the donut flavour, add 50 grams of cacao powder. So we're going to do that now. Mix all this together now, pretty simple. Now here's another point where if you wanted to sweeten it up, you can add some stevia to it, or xylitol if you prefer. I'm just going to leave it as it is. I'll probably sweeten up the chocolate when I get round to that. So we're going to just mix this up together now. Alright, so we've mixed all this together nice and evenly, so that's all good. Nice and firm. Okay, so the idea now is that we're just going to whack these in the moulds. So what I've done is I've just evenly put them all out, and now what I'm going to do is just give it a bit of a pat down so they're kind of nice and even when they do bake in the oven. All nice and neat. Okay, so we're going to whack them in the oven. Okay, so we're going to leave the donuts in the oven for about 20 minutes. How to know if they're done is basically just push on the top, and if it kind of bounces back, then you know you're ready to go. If it kind of stays down, not ready yet, it's another 5 minutes, and keep checking until they have that resistance. Just bring them out. Now what you want to do is you want to bring them out and let them just rest for a little bit, then eventually stick them in the fridge. You want these donuts to actually cool down. Reason being is because when we do make the chocolate for the chocolate topping, if the donut is hot, the chocolate's just going to melt. So the idea is to get the donuts cold and we're going to get the chocolate, and that's when we're going to put them together. Making the chocolate. So we're going to need 100 grams of coconut oil, which I have here, 50 grams of cacao powder, and you can add vanilla if you want, and pink salt if you want. It just helps to boost up flavour. And also if you wanted to, you can use some stevia. So what we'll do is basically we're going to add the coconut oil straight in. Obviously the coconut oil is in liquid form. If it's cold, then just warm it up, get it liquid, because doing it hard won't work. If you wanted to have a different flavour, then now is when you would add something else. For example, you can add turmeric to this, you can add some matcha powder, beetroot powder, so it depends on what colour, what flavour. We're just doing, again, straight up chocolate, so we're just going to add the roasted cacao powder straight into it. Okay, and then I'm going to add some sweeteners to it, so these are just natural stevias, so these are good. So really it's as simple as just mixing it all together. So what we're going to do is just put that aside. If it's really hot, this will be really runny. So the idea is that you want to have it so that it's kind of firm. So here it's quite cold at the moment. So you can see that it's firming up. So you just want to heat that up slightly if it gets really firm. And if it's too hot, then you want to kind of just put this in the fridge for a little bit, let it cool down, then just keep stirring. You want that kind of thick texture, but not too thick. So we'll put this aside and we'll get our donuts out of the oven, and then we're going to put these two together. Okay guys, so I've taken the donuts out, or muffins, and basically put them on a baking tray, taken the paper off. And so they're all nice and cool now, they're all good. We've got our chocolate that's ready to go, so pretty much now have a bit of fun. Smother the chocolate all over it and dig in. So let's go. Okay guys, so this is it. We have keto, low carb, high fat donuts. Really good, really easy to make. Yeah, so happy days, and thank you for tuning in. Be sure to check out www.fatbombs.com.au. You can order them online. Send us an email with any questions, or even if you want to just hashtag Fatbombs Australia and show us your picture of the donuts you've made at home. Cheers and thank you very much.